Who the fuck is that guy?
I make my own moves, yeah, I'm bossing.
All weak bitches, please proceed to the exit.
Is there no one else? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
We are Not for the Weak.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Not for the Weak. Thank you for tuning into the podcast. Appreciate it, each and every one of you guys. Today's episode is actually pretty dope because we're joined by yet another college buddy of mine. I went to school with some dope people over the years. I'd like to think that I know some pretty awesome people. But yeah, today's episode, we're being joined by my buddy, Great Dayne, a.k.a. the Great Dayne. He's doing big things down in L.A. He's an entertainer. He's a musician. He's a actor. He's just an overall entertainer. And he joins in, and we Skype him in, and we have an awesome conversation, I think. We talk about a lot of different things, you know, from social media to kind of pursuing dreams, pursuing goals, kind of, how to manage, expectations for yourself, doing things that are outside the comfort zone. We talk about a lot of cool shit, and I think this is probably one of my favorite episodes. And we talk for a long time. Jeremy dips out a little bit towards the end because he had to go to work, but it was a good conversation. I think you guys will really like this. He's an awesome dude. Got a lot of talent. Dude's killing it. So check him out. Throw all the social media in the bio as always. But yeah, this is a cool episode. Super stoked for it. Hope you guys love it. Before we get too far into it, though, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a 5-star review because it helps the podcast grow. But yeah, now that that's all out of the way, let's just get into the episode. Let's get into this conversation. Great Dayne, a.k.a. the Great Dayne. Let's go.
Let's go. We live.
So we're here with Zach, the Great Dayne.
What's up? What up, Jeremy?
What's up, bro? How are you?
Good.
Man, it's been a minute, man. It's been.
You guys look official, man. You got the brick wall there. Shit.
We'd like to keep it clean back here.
Not for the weak.
Yeah, man. Down in LA there, living the dream, man.
Yes, sir. Trying to get it, one step at a time, trying to level up.
That's the goal, right? Like, get better every fucking day.
Oh, yeah, man.
Dude.
Trying to stay healthy out here, Trying to keep it going, trying to get like you fellas.
I seen you at Gold's Gym. I seen that post at Gold's Gym on your story.
Yeah, man. You guys need to come down and go to Gold's. I thought you were supposed to come recently.
Well, I was, but that didn't end up happening. But we'll be down in January for the LA Fit Expo. We'll hit up Gold's. Definitely hit up Gold's. That place is crazy. There's some fucking monsters there.
Bro, nothing but monsters. Like anybody that's like really hardcore about whether they're like fighters, you got NFL players there, and then you got just straight bodybuilders who just walk around. Even the females, bro. The females are, woo. Hey, they're scary, bro.
Pushing weight, huh?
Huge, yeah. But I mean, it's the type of motivation you need when you go in a gym. You know how when you go to like random like LA fitnesses and shit, like It's just like you see people not really going hard. They're like on their phone. It's like more of a social event.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's the worst part. It's hard to find motivation when you're around a bunch of people that aren't working. You know what I mean? You got to surround yourself with, people that are trying to level up.
Oh yeah, I mean it pushes you. You can't go to Gold's and like and work and look like a bitch because everyone around you is going so hard. You're like you almost have to adapt to the environment.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like that with anything, like business. I'm sure the music, you can't surround yourself with a bunch of fuckboys.
No, absolutely, man. I mean, me personally, I like to surround myself with people who are better than me all the time and like everything. You know what I mean? Like better singers, better rappers, better actors, better people who are more in shape than me, stuff like that.
Yeah. It creates, that need to, that competitive nature, you want to beat them. You want to be better than them. And if you're surrounding yourself constantly with people that are, once you reach that person's level, you want to bring in more people, bring in people that are even more successful or even more talented.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? I mean, it's all about pushing yourself to the limit and then some, you know?
Yeah, 100%. The sad thing is, I think think it's in. I don't know if it's necessarily human nature, but I think a lot of people find comfort in not surrounding themselves with people that are better than them.
Oh, for sure. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable to be around people that, are more successful or more, in a better situation than you.
Yeah.
But,
absolutely. I mean, but that's the easy thing to do, right? The easy thing to do is settle, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It's fucking settle and live in your little box, and you feel like things are safe. But to me, that almost seems really unsafe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you kind of live in this bubble and you're not growing and everything around you is growing, you got a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pretty soon you're going to get outgrown. Everything's going to keep moving forward, and you're going to be in the same spot you were, 5-10 years ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah, looking at yourself and being like, what the fuck?
I wish
What did I do?
I had pushed myself a little bit harder.
Yeah, and I'm sure you fellas can agree, like, that's the scariest part. Like, for me, that's one of my biggest motivations is, like, I do not want to be left behind. You know what I mean? When people are really leveling up and not even to compare myself to other people, but for myself, I mean, that makes me feel like shit. If I don't feel like I'm growing, then you get all these negative emotions that come into play, right? Which is like doubt, insecurity.
Am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right path? Have I just been wasting my time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no. But
shit, gotta keep it pushing.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest fears too. Is like I have a whole list of goals and things I want to accomplish, and the thought of not crossing everything off that list scares me. It's like that means that I lost basically. If I don't cross everything off, I lost, and the thought I hate losing.
Yeah,
Fuck,
absolutely.
don't we all?
Absolutely. And I'm curious about your journey, because I followed it from the beginning. I known you in college and stuff, and you were always pretty big, but then you got to a point to where you were, you just took it to the next level. I mean, you got really, really strong, really lean.
Yeah.
And strong and lean. You know what I mean? So, like, I've been following you, Mooney. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I admire it for real.
Well, I think it's. I think.
What was your mindset when you decided to really do this whole like fitness journey? You know what I'm saying? Was it just like, because it's more like a lot of people when they see a lot of fitness accounts and fitness Instagrams and stuff, they don't know that it's actually more mental than it is physical.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean?
Well, I think a lot of it, it's how I was brought up. Like I was talking to Jeremy about this last week, like I was super poor when I was little, and I lived in a shitty, we lived in our car, it was a shitty environment, and the thought of ever being in that situation again makes me angry. Like it motivates me. And so I think I've always been competitive, and the idea of, when I got done with playing college football is like, what do I do now? I got to find another avenue to be competitive in and to succeed in. And I think I've always liked the fitness industry, and so kind of natural progression. But then I think along with that is like, you got to differentiate yourself. You can't just be like everybody else. There's too many people out there trying to do the same thing. You gotta find ways to kind of stand out from the crowd a little bit. And I think, I'm sure you can relate to that. I mean, with the music industry, there's a lot of like everybody. There's hundreds and thousands of people every day that are trying to get into the industry, and you got to find ways to brand yourself differently or stand out and make what you're putting out there different, different from the white noise of everyone else.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, right? It's being true to yourself, because if you really think about it, being different than everybody else is already in your nature,
right?
Because you, right, literally, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you stay true to yourself instead of, because I feel like a lot of people when they want to, be different than the next person, they try too hard to be different. Mm-hmm. When in reality, if you just be yourself, you're already different.
Right.
You're already born different. If you just be yourself, then you naturally separate yourself from the rest. And I think that's the biggest thing when you agree to staying true.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. The originality and that's really what separates you. It being authentic and people can relate to being authentic more than they can relate to you trying to copy somebody else's style or copy somebody else's path.
Well, and I feel like that's like something that's huge is because people try so fucking hard to be different than everyone else that it makes them the exact same as everyone else who's trying to be different from everyone else. So people who are authentic, who are true to themselves, like you're saying, at the end of the day, because we are all different individually, that just shows when we're real with, people on social media or with anything that you do.
Well, I think too with that, is if you're truly being yourself and you're truly being authentic and you don't need to tell people that you're being different, Yeah. It's apparent.
They'll think that already. Yeah.
It's almost become cliche to tell people, oh, I'm not like everybody else, because everybody says that now. But are they really putting something out there that's different from everybody else, or are they really just following what's trendy and what's popular and what's going to get them views or likes or clicks,
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that you shouldn't have to say. It just kind of shows.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about the whole movement with the gunsmith and not for the weak. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like the way I interpret the whole movement is it's really a self journey. You know what I'm saying? It's not about any other person or at all. It's about kind of looking in the mirror and eradicating every type of weakness that you find within yourself. Yeah. And just keep on getting better. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, so that's what I love about your brand, And Gunsmith just sounds hard. I don't even know how you came up with that name. What is that?
that was
just hard.
That was me and my business partner, Rob, just kind of spitballing ideas. And the whole idea, like the progression, building yourself up and building yourself into a better version of yourself. And basically what we call like the ultimate weapon. You're prepared for whatever life throws your fucking way. And so you're building yourself like a gunsmith builds a gun, but you're the weapon,
Ooh.
You're the gunsmith and the gun, bro.
That's super dope.
Yeah. So that's kind of where that whole thing came from.
The ultimate weapon. I love that.
Yeah.
It's like a superhero.
You're your own superhero,
Yes. Absolutely.
Screw looking up to somebody else. Be your own damn superhero.
No one's gonna save you but yourself, bro.
That's real.
It is.
It's true.
Right.
You can be given all the tools in the world, to be successful, but if you're not willing to use them, then it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people forget, how much power that you have within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people that are grinding, and I'm victim to it too when you first start. Is you're thinking like, oh, if I can just talk to this person, if I can just get to this person, maybe they can help me because they're on a level I want to get to. But at the end of the day, it's like people forget how much shit you can actually do by yourself, especially in today's age.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you have all these tools. Look what we're doing right now. You have all these tools that you can use to your benefit that are free.
Right.
It
just takes a little bit of work.
Yeah, exactly, and to learn it and stuff, But
I think that's a huge. What you just touched on is huge, especially like in like the fitness community, like which we're kind of associated with. Is everybody wants like there's a bunch of guys that are up there like killing it, like really. Right. I'm sure you see a bunch of them at Golds. There's a bunch of those guys that have massive social media followings, massive YouTubes, and like. Everybody, if you go on like and I've been guilty of it, but I think it's just natural. But if you go on like their social media, it's always people reaching out like, hey, we need to link up, we need to collab. It's not even necessarily from the organic sense of, I want to be around this person because they're awesome. It's I want to be around this person because this person has a following and they're going to give me these amount of views and
a handout. Yeah.
And it doesn't come off genuine,
Yeah. So. You know who I met the other day? At Gold is Simeon Panda.
Oh, dude.
You know who that is?
Yeah. I've met him a couple times. He's first off, he's massive.
He's hard. He's big. He's tall too. He's big. He's huge.
A lot of fitness guys aren't that tall and that big, but he's tall and he's fucking massive. And he's a really nice fucking guy.
No, he's super humble. Yeah, he looks like a middle linebacker, man, for real.
Hey, that's what I was.
He's huge. I didn't know he was British, bro. Like I met him, you know. He's like, hello, bro. Nice to meet you. I was like, oh shit. You just didn't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, he's super humble, and the reason why I bring that up is because you know, you look at his Instagram and shit like that, right?
Right.
He's absolutely he's polished, right?
Yeah.
You could just, you know, he's that guy. You know, he has his business in order. He really made this thing a full-on entrepreneurial business.
Right.
You know, and his brand is prolific, right? You know, it's perfect, you know, and but you could see, at least for me when I met him, you can see in his eyes and the way he talks, it's like he's not satisfied for shit.
No.
You know what I mean?
I don't think you can ever get satisfied at that level. No.
No way. It's almost like, you know, you see him in the gym and, you know, and he's just, he's so zoned in, you know, he's not very concerned with kind of really talking and being like, hey, how you doing? Because you got a bunch of people that want to come up to him and take pictures.
Oh, 100%, I bet.
And he's super nice about it. But his discipline, that's what his discipline is crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Super inspiring guy, man.
Well, yeah, I don't think you can get to that level without having a great degree of that discipline or that fire, that hunger, you know, and never getting satisfied with, because he's killing it. He's killing the game. He could easily sit back and be like, hey, I got, you know, a couple Lambos and, you know, I'm good. I don't need to do anything else. But like, that's not how you, I guess, achieve true greatness. You know, you got to always be looking for that next step.
Yeah, and it's inspiring for people that are on the come up, because it's like when you see someone like that who's working like that, it's like, okay, you really have no excuse. You know what I mean?
Oh no, 100%.
At all. You got this guy who's in everyone's eyes made it, right? But he's working harder than the next guy who hasn't yet. That's a problem if you're not working harder than him then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I take that into music as well. You know, you got artists and stuff that are still killing it. You know, you got I mean, look at Drake. Look at Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington is working like he is broke.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
still working on his craft. He's not content with just being, you know. I think a lot of the big takeaway with a lot of those guys is like they're always learning and they're always improving their craft. You know, like they're not just like.
We've talked about that before too with personal trainers. Like the best personal trainers are always trying to like further their knowledge and get constantly like looking for ways to get better at their specific, you know, thing.
Learning from other people along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe at that point, I mean, it's really just passion at that point.
Yeah.
You know, and passion is one thing too, right? I mean, you have a lot of people who haven't found their passion.
Yeah.
You know, and that's an interesting thing, because as people like us who have a passion, we're just trying to figure out how we can take it to the next level, you know? But sometimes if I get frustrated and shit like that, I think about people that don't even have a passion yet.
Yeah.
You know, because now it's like, what are you chasing if you don't have it, you know? So
that's real.
That's an interesting concept, you know? What do you think about that as far as like people that haven't found it yet, I guess you could say? I mean, what's your take on that?
I think I don't know. Personally, I think a lot of people get scared to go outside the box to try to find that passion. You know what I mean? We were just talking to a buddy of mine. They own a meal prep company in Northern California, and his fiance quit their job, you know, 3 months into their business to work full time on the business. You know, like that's a huge step. You know, you're giving up all this money. But like you talk to a lot of people and it's like, I don't know if I can quit my job, or I don't know if I can pursue that, or I don't really know too much about that. Like, so I'm hesitant to dive into that.
I feel like some people don't even want to like maybe admit what they find passion in.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely.
Like I feel like some people are like, like, what are you passionate about? They're like, oh, I don't know. It's like, no, you do. I guarantee if we go through a list of things like, do you like this? Do you like this? One of those are going to be like, yeah, I fucking love that. There it is.
Yeah.
There's your fucking
found
passion.
But
now it's what can you do with that? You know what I mean?
It's pursuing that passion and allowing yourself to be able to find that passion. You
Yeah.
know, not just being content with, you know, I'm comfortable, I have a decent paycheck, or I need to do this, or I can't afford to do that, or I can't afford to go after that because of whatever reason, you know, or I have a kid, I can't do that, you know, I got to do my job. It's trying to find, it's being, I guess, ballsy enough to be like, hey, I'm going to go try to find what I'm passionate about, or I'm going to go pursue what I'm passionate about.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree 100% because not everyone just has a passion fall in their lap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people do, and that's great. You know, but a lot of people got to search for it.
Yeah.
You know, and like you said, searching for it takes balls, and that's the thing. It's like fear. That's the thing. It's fear. It's like what you were saying, Jeremy. You know, I've asked people too. It's like, you know, what's your passion? You can tell what their passion is.
Yeah. You can see their eyes and shit.
Depending on what you guys talk about, you know when someone's passionate about something, and you know when they're not.
Scared.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're embarrassed, or they're scared to talk about it because they feel like it's so unattainable. And who are they to? How dare you dream?
Yeah.
How dare you dream to be a better person? You know, and who am I to achieve something this great? Who, you know? But at the same time, it's like this next man did. They're human just like you.
Yeah.
They bleed just like you. You have no excuse. You know, just get some balls and go get it, right?
It's
you
that
know?
huge fear of the unknown that a lot of us have, man. So, I mean, even myself, like for a long time, I'm like, I was like scared to do anything that I felt that in the end ended up benefiting me, because I was like, oh fuck, like I've never done this before. What if I'm a joke? What if this is a joke? What if I fail at this? And then everyone's like, dude, who's that kid? You know what I mean? That's never happened. No. But it's always in the back of your head when you go venture off into something new. You're always thinking, fuck, what am I doing right now?
And it never will. Like, people aren't going to judge you.
Yeah.
For the only people that are going to end up judging you for that are the people that are too scared to go after their own passion.
Oh, absolutely. And that's something huge that I've learned too, is like anyone who's against you when you're doing something like that, following a dream, following a passion, those are the type of people you don't even need in your life to begin with. Right. So,
yeah.
I mean, you probably had that same thing when you were moving to LA to go after acting and music. And I'm sure there are a lot of people that are like, that's a stupid dream. Like, you do that, like you're not going to be successful. Like,
absolutely. You know, like my dad is one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like I was raised by my mom predominantly, and so me and my dad never really had a relationship like that. But he's one of those guys, you know, because I'm actually from LA.
Okay.
So I went to college, you know, in Oregon.
Okay.
But I grew up in San Pedro. It's right next to Long Beach.
Okay.
And so my dad, you know, and my parents are regular blue collar people. My dad works on the docks. You know, he's a longshoreman. You know, so he's about that. You know, that I guess you could say safe life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you know, right when I graduated, right? He's like, yeah, I bet I can get you a job at this factory or on the docks, you know, something like that, you know. And I'm just like,
that's not me.
Yeah, that's just not me, man. I you know, and that would kill my soul anyway. If I was doing it, that would kill my soul.
Right.
You know, and so my own dad, you know, he was like acting. He's like, you know how hard that is. You know, it's all related, man. It's families on. You know, the producer's son is the one who's in the movie. Da da da. You know, but it's like, man, he just doesn't understand. You know, it's a different age. For one, I couldn't not do it if I tried because it's my passion. I have to do it. You know,
you have to at least see where it can go before you give up on that.
Yeah, it's just it's a never-ending itch. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, when it comes to doing things that you're scared of, and I'm sure I know you guys can relate, is how freeing is it? How freeing is it once you do it, and then you realize you're like, man, that wasn't shit actually. What else? What else can I do? You know, whether it be like you guys starting a podcast, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, you know, why not? Let's do it. And then once you do it, you know, once you stay, it's like, damn, this is tight. You know, this is free.
Yeah.
You know, let's step it up a notch. Let's see how much more freer I can feel. And I think for me, that's the goal. I like feeling free. I hate feeling like I'm scared of something. I hate it.
Oh, it's fear's a crippling thing, dude. It'll stop you from doing a lot of things that are like, perfect example. Last January, I went skydiving. You know.
Oh shit! I still gotta go skydiving.
Yeah, so I went skydiving. I'm scared of heights. I hate heights. Like if I stand on top of a tall building and look down, I'm fucking I'm freaking out. Like, but so a couple of my business partners, they took me down there, and we were going skydiving. And so, like, the whole time I'm thinking, like, this is a bad idea. I need to not do this. Like, it's not too late for me to turn back. Like, the point where like we're not on the plane yet. I can just, you know, hop out, and like we were walking to the drop zone or whatever. And like earlier that morning, like ambulance flew up there because some dude missed the drop zone and landed in a dumpster and broke his leg or something. And I'm just thinking the whole time, like, that dude, I don't have insurance. Like, this is bad. Like, but then afterwards, you know, we did the first jump, and I was like, dude, that was amazing. Like, but if I had let myself get talked out of that, I would have missed that amazing experience. Like, it was exactly what you're talking about. It's freeing, you know.
And it's something you always wanted to do. It was on your bucket list.
Well, and you're conquering something that you're scared of.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Something like
How was that, by the way? Like, tell me, like, real quick, like, when you're in the air, you're just falling. What's that feeling like?
So it's like, obviously we went tandem, so I was like strapped to some dude that's probably jumped, you know, 10,000 times or whatever, and he's like, no, he's like, it's good, you know, just tuck your chin when we bail out, and then when I tap you, you can look up. And I was like, oh shit! Like, so we're like inching over to the edge of the building, looking out, and it's like, oh shit! And I look down out of the plane. It's like, that's a long fucking way. So I just tucked my head and closed my eyes, and then like we just rocked out. And it's weird because you don't feel, since you're going so fast, you don't feel like you're dropping. You don't feel like you're falling. It almost kind of feels like you're flying for a second.
Right.
Because the plane is going so fast, and so you're going back behind the plane almost.
Oh, right.
So you're not really falling, and then I don't know, you're just kind of hanging out. It was pretty amazing, dude. I definitely recommend it.
Is it super cold?
It was actually warm.
Interesting. Oh yeah.
It was actually really warm because we were down in Arizona. So I actually went twice. So as soon as we landed, I got the opportunity. They're like, yeah, if you guys want to go again, feel free, you know. And I was like, hell yeah. So I went like back to back twice. And the second time I took off my hoodie and I went like t-shirt, and it was fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, just flying.
That's dope.
I actually want to get my license so I can do it, you know, learn to do it by myself.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to do the same thing. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I gotta go skydiving. That's definitely a bucket list. I mean,
yeah. Do you got a full bucket list? Things that you want to do? You got a full bucket list of things you want to do?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, the biggest thing for me is just the craft wise, you know, music and acting. You know, like I literally want to. I think I'm at a place right now, because at first, right when I graduated, I was like, all right, I'm gonna hit acting. You know, I got on a couple shows, but then I didn't have work for a while. You know, that whole struggle. Yeah. And then I'm like, you know, damn, you know, I do music. I've been doing music for a while. Yeah. And then I'm like, you know what? I really want to take it serious. And I kind of got, I guess, fed up a little bit with the whole like the acting and kind of having my fate up to like a casting director's hands and stuff like that. So I had this whole idea. I was like, you know, why don't I make a one-man show? You know, like I make music, and that was the title of my first EP, was One Man Show. It was just 3 songs, 3 videos. It was like a movie. And so yeah, I went hard on that. And so, but right now, recently, actually, it's like I just got a new agent. Pilot season's coming up. I'm kind of gearing up. I'm at a position now to where like I literally, for a long time, I felt like I had to choose. You know, I was like, all right, do I do music or do I do acting? But we're in a day and age to where it's like, you know, if you can do multiple things, then it's okay. You just got to do double the work.
Yeah. No, it actually probably makes you more valuable because you are so versatile. You know, you're an entertainer. You know, you're not just an actor.
Exactly. You know, and so for me, the bucket list, I guess for me, it's just I want to get as big as I can in both. You know what I mean? Right. Like I really want to be like, you know, like damn, you know, Dayne is a bad motherfucker when it comes to acting and music. Like he might be shooting a movie and then he has an album coming out. He might be working on an album, but then he has a movie coming out. You know, like that's where my bucket list is kind of at. You know, I'm trying to be like my Jamie Foxx shit.
Yeah, I was about to say Jamie Foxx, a perfect example, dude. Killing it. Just perfect entertainer.
Yeah, did you see his? I'm a huge fan of Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, I saw that.
The interview with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Oh man, that made me like him even more, honestly.
Yeah, he's great. Joe Rogan's fucking man. That guy is relentless with the truth, huh?
Oh man, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. He's being himself. He doesn't care what people think. He'll he doesn't lean like one particular way. He's just open. He wants to learn, and he'll tell you how it is.
Yeah.
And that's probably why he's so successful.
Yeah, because at the beginning of his career, he got a lot of flack for just pretty much saying what's on everybody else's mind, but he didn't give a fuck. Like he called out Carlos Mencia. Do you remember that shit?
Yeah, when he was stealing all the jokes and stuff back in the day.
Yeah, but he went right up to him on stage, right to his face at his own press conference or interview, whatever you want to call it, and said to his face, no, he's like, this is bullshit. He's like, people got to know that you steal jokes. He's like, people hate on musicians if they steal lyrics or something from another musician. Why is it not the same with comics?
Yeah.
And I feel like it takes that type of ball sometimes to or that type of risk, I guess level up.
Yeah.
And not everyone has that. I mean, Joe Rogan's an extreme case.
Yeah, right. He's definitely an extreme example of not giving a fuck what people say and kind of. And I think it helps that now he's in a position where he controls everything that he puts out. He has his own studio. He has his own podcast. He does his comedy special where he doesn't have people telling him what to do. He does what he wants, and
yeah, it kind of became his it's his brand now. Honestly, like when he, I don't know if you watch his stand up, but when he does stand up too, he's like, he'll say at the beginning, he's like, you're gonna hate me.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, even you guys right here, you came to see me, and you're gonna be mad at me, but this is why you came.
Yeah, right.
His stand up's hella funny. He's funny as fuck.
He's hilarious. Oh man.
I love it. I want that's the goal. I want to be that free. You know what I mean? That's the goal. But he gets away with it because you can tell he's genuine.
Yeah. No. So if it was coming from like a position of like of just him hating you and that's why he's saying what he's saying, like it wouldn't hold nearly as much weight and people would actually hate him for that. But because he doesn't mean it in a bad way, he's just telling you, what you're saying is bullshit, or he doesn't agree with you.
He's not an idiot. He does his research, and everything he says is factual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think a lot of it too is it goes back to he's learning. He brings people on he wants to learn from, and so he's trying to continually learn and become better. And he admits that he doesn't know everything, and I think he throws the ego aside, and that's huge. And it's hard for a lot of people to do that and be like, to admit that you don't know everything or that you're not an expert in every field. It takes a while. It takes a certain kind of person to throw the ego aside.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, and that's a great point. I was talking to my buddy the other day, and we were just talking about religion, and when I'm high, I like to kind of get, not even when I'm high, but especially when I'm high. Like when I smoke, I get on like a real esoteric conversation. I want to start talking about the big picture.
Right.
And so we were just talking about like religion and death and everyone's opinion and how so many people have died over the war of religion throughout centuries and stuff like that, Right. And it's like, if everyone can just admit that we don't know shit after this, because you've never been there yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if we all, regardless of what religion, whatever it is, in your beliefs in the afterlife, if we all maybe as humans can like come together and realize that we actually all don't know shit.
Right.
Maybe that we could then start coming together, and then start figuring out, instead of saying no,
it's this way.
There's a Buddha. Oh no, there's a white Jesus. No, there's a black Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, all that type of stuff, and then that brings me to like social media, right? Like, I personally, I don't really like Twitter too much. Because, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like not everybody should have an opinion.
I think
right?
I've said something similar before, actually, so it's hilarious that you said that. But like, it's great that everyone has the ability to speak their mind. The problem is that most people don't do the research behind it or exactly know what they're talking about. You know,
Yeah, most people don't have a point.
no, they just want to say something because they heard somebody else say something and this is their opinion on it. And Twitter is a super negative place, super negative. It's very hard to find like a good part of Twitter.
That's what it is. It's troll central.
Oh, 100%.
And maybe that's why I'm so turned off about it. Instagram's different because I'm very visual.
Yeah.
And you can kind of obviously people still have their opinions and stuff like that. People still troll, but it's more for me like well, the way I surround myself with my Instagram anyway is people that inspire me anyway. You know. And
Well,
so
I think it's easier to weed out the negativity on Instagram. It's easier to control the flow a little bit more.
Yeah, Twitter just seems like a death trap to me. I don't know.
Twitter's been nice to us as a brand because we've built up a kind of nice community on Twitter. People that support our brand and have ended up connecting with each other because it's so easy on Twitter and social media nowadays to interact. And so like we started on Twitter and we created this community of people that like fucked with what we were putting out, and then eventually they start fucking with each other, and like so it becomes like a community. And so but once you start venturing outside of that, you start to get into that where the trolls and the negative people reside. But it's kind of like everything, like there's always going to be negative people out there.
You're right. It's more about just keeping your circle and your tribe tight. You know what I mean? That's really what it is, and being around like-minded individuals and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think for the most part, the negativity kind of weeds itself out, over the long run. As long as you keep enough, people in your circle that are positive and on the right path, on the same path as you, then it's pretty easy to kind of weed out the negativity. I mean, it's always going to be there.
Yeah.
I get trolled a lot, and it happens. It's just part of the process.
It's funny when you get trolled.
Yeah.
I just crack up.
I wonder what's next. You know what I'm saying? I wonder what is the next big social media thing. Everyone's always trying to figure it out. Snap is kind of dying. No one is kind of investing in it. Because Instagram and Facebook, they what they do. They
just teamed up and it just took everything good from Snapchat and put it on.
They're like, oh, you know what? We're gonna take your story idea.
Yeah.
We're gonna put it on Instagram.
And part of me
the
thinks
dog filter.
Yeah, part of me thinks that like there might not be another thing, because I feel like Twitter and Facebook have gotten so big that if something were to just kind of pop up, as it would start to grow steam, Instagram would steal it. Yeah, Instagram would steal it and integrate it because they already have that massive. Instagram's huge. I forget what the number was, but I saw some article talking about the number of monthly users on Instagram, and it's an outrageous number, like hundreds of millions.
Yeah, it's overwhelming sometimes. It's like I know when I get on Instagram, I have to kind of like have a reason to sometimes, because you can get sucked in. You ever check out something and it's like, oh shit, related video.
Yeah.
And then you look up and you're like, fuck, I just wasted like 20 minutes of my life real quick.
And
you know what I mean?
Nothing productive out of that either. Like, it's just 20 minutes gone.
Yeah, you're like, fuck, what was my original idea? Oh yeah, I had to check on this. Fuck. But
it probably helps though with you. I mean, it's a necessary evil in your kind of case, because now you got to get exposure for your music, and then obviously if you have a bigger social media following, that helps you with gigs and acting gigs. So
yeah, absolutely. Casting director is one of the first questions they ask you now when you step in the room. How many followers?
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Because I mean, look at I mean, now they got the YouTube Red and stuff. Like you have a lot of social media stars who have never acted in their life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they have 100,000 followers. And because of the business aspect of that and the popularity, you know, because we're in the age of popularity.
Right.
You know, they'll get casted for that, you know, because they know that they're going to bring viewers.
Right. Makes sense. I mean, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
Do you think kind of like that old way of, you know, seeing the casting directors, you think that way is kind of going away, or is it?
As far as like physically?
Yeah, like physically, like now people are just going on, you know, they're just going on YouTube and they're finding their stars there, or I don't know.
I don't think it'll ever go away because, I mean, you know, you still need talented people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, regardless of how much followers they have and stuff like that, you know, you still need people who are going to get the job done.
Yeah.
You know, and get it done well, you know, which means you need, you know, hopefully, you know, trained actors or whatever it is, you know. But it's a mix of both, you know, because you have people who have huge followings that can actually learn to be decent actors too.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it just depends, you know. There's there's no one way to get in anywhere.
Right. No, 100%.
There's so many different ways, you know. But yeah, man, the age of social media is crazy. You know, it's like it's a necessary evil. You're right. You know, it's like fucking Spider-Man. You know, the more power you have, the greater the responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you have this tool, but you got to use it right. That's the catch.
Yeah.
That's the catch. You know, use it to your benefit. Don't let it hurt you. You know, and also drown out the white noise. You know, all that other shit.
Right.
You know, but what's your favorite social media platform? Do you have one?
I used to like Instagram, but I don't like Instagram as much anymore.
Oh yeah.
Ever since they, I don't know. I find my reach on Instagram has decreased quite a bit over the last, you know, maybe year or so.
Really?
Just
Why?
based on, well, the way the algorithm is set up is it doesn't show it to your followers right off the bat. It shows it to a small segment of your followers, and then based off interaction.
Yes.
Then it'll show it to more followers and whatnot. And I don't know if you noticed, but like a lot of people, they don't like shit. You know, they'll just scroll and it's just like entertainment. Yeah. So most people, I think, just scroll and don't necessarily like. And so like if somebody doesn't like it, it doesn't boost it. You know what I mean? So like my girlfriend, Chrissy, she's a perfect example. She'll scroll through and she won't like a single person's photo. And I'm just thinking to myself, in my head, I'm thinking, damn, you're screwing all these people because you're not liking their shit.
It's like it.
Yeah, you like it mentally, but you didn't click it. So now none of these people, their posts are going to get buried on the timeline because you didn't like it. You scrolled right past it.
That's so crazy because like me on Instagram, I'm like,
yeah. I like everyone. If I follow you, I'm gonna like your stuff.
You're a good user.
yeah. No, dude, I'll be liking everyone's shit. My girlfriend's always like, "Why are you liking that picture?" I'm like, "I just liked it." She's like, "Did you even see it?" I was like, "No, I just liked it." Everyone needs love.
Well, that's a little much. You got to actually look at it
within reason.
He's just a lover. He's just
that's a lover, bro. My finger was hurting after I get done on Instagram.
Like if I'm taking the time to follow you, I'm gonna like your stuff. You know?
Yeah,
like I'm gonna support you if I'm following you, but. Yeah, I don't know. Part of me thinks that maybe the algorithm isn't kind of ignores that. You know, that a lot of users don't like stuff. They just scroll past it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely knows. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I'm victim of it too. Yeah. Everyone's a victim of it. You know, sometimes there's a lot of stuff. Like for instance, right? Like I follow like, you know, maybe Snoop Dogg or The Rock or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But to me, they're already fucking huge. And so even though I might like something, I don't necessarily might not click it because it's like they just don't need it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They don't need it. They already got their 80 million followers that are looking at that.
Yeah, you know, but then again, I still do. It just depends on what mood I am. I don't know.
How generous you're feeling at the time.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, Snoop, you know, you just got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, but all right, fuck it.
Yeah.
Boom. You know what I mean?
I'll congratulate you for that.
Yeah, you know, it just depends. For me, it's like I think I'd rather comment. I think that means more to me. I think that is a greater gift, I guess, to the user. You know, if I'd rather just comment. I either don't like or I'll comment and like.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it makes sense, you know. And I think that's huge, you know. And it goes back to, you know, just interacting with people and supporting the people that you care about, you know. Like if you're taking the time to comment, you know, you're showing your support and you know, I fuck with what you're doing. That's why I'm commenting right now. But I don't know. I like Instagram. Instagram's fun. I'm very visual too, so I like seeing all like, but it's definitely sucks you in, and you can waste a lot of time.
I waste a lot of time on Instagram. Too much time.
Yeah, that's why like these days I literally go in with the mission. If I do, it's like, all right, if I click the app, I got something to do.
Yeah.
Like don't be wasting your shit. But yeah, I don't know. It's a fucking interesting time, bro, and it's especially for I have younger siblings. I got a 13-year-old. And the way they use it is nuts because my younger sister, she has like 13,000 followers for nothing. It's just because all the kids in her school are following each other, and then they're following the next school. And so
she got a built-in audience already.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's like we actually got to be doing something. Yeah. My little sister is taking selfies, chilling, doing whatever. She's 13, but she's popping because, yeah, you know what I mean. They're all exchanging Instagrams. It's man, it's a crazy time.
It's crazy to think about the time before Instagram. Like, I don't know, what did we do?
I mean, when you actually had to go out and talk to people.
Yeah, you actually had to interact with people, and I don't know. I feel like, it's kind of similar for the brand. Like, we launched a business without having, it was a lot easier to launch a business now maybe than it was, a decade or so ago in terms of like a retail, like clothing business. Like, we didn't have to go out and pay for, advertising in the newspaper or like radio ads or whatever. So it's a lot cheaper. It's a lot easier too. But then it's also, there's so many other people that now have that option. So now it's becoming super competitive and super saturated. And so now it makes it easier in a sense, but it also makes it a little bit more difficult now because now you really have to elevate your game to differentiate yourself because now there's so many people doing it. It's kind of probably similar with, with the music thing is, you just need a good mic and a YouTube channel and you got, your audience. You don't have to go pay somebody for a studio time or, get an agent or a manager to kind of push your stuff out there now.
Yeah. It's a gift and a curse, because like you said, it's, anyone can kind of do it now, so, cause back in the day, with music, if you had any type of prayer to do it as a living, you had to, go to every open mic around the city.
Right.
Had to hope that there's an A&R from a big record label that likes you and wants to bring you into the building.
Yeah.
But now, you can do it yourself. So the internet is oversaturated, like you said. And so now the floodgates are open to people who may not necessarily be that good, but they work harder than the next person who is talented.
Right.
Or they just pull some crazy fanatics. You got people who are just acting nuts, acting crazy, and any publicity is good publicity in this age, right?
Yeah.
You got people who just look nuts and pulling fanatics. I'm not gonna name names, but there's a few rappers who are popping now. It's like they just are so eccentric.
Yeah.
So that they're almost not even musicians. They're just really fanatical entertainers.
Yeah, just doing stupid shit. Like nowadays, it seems like there's a lot of. I think I know kind of some of the guys you're talking about, or know who they are. But it's like how outrageous can you look to get noticed? Because the colorful hair, as many face tattoos as possible. Like
talking about Yeah, he got into some trouble recently.
Oh man,
I was just reading.
We were just reading about the article this morning. That's crazy.
He's a perfect example. That's a sad story, man. I hate to see anybody go, have potentially a sentence in prison. I've been to jail before, and it's not fun, dude. It's especially for anybody who's creative or has aspirations and dreams. It's literally like a it's like a bird being caged. It'll kill your soul. And so man. I mean, I wish the best for him. But when you're people who are really about that life and they're making mistakes, it's gonna trickle down to you. you know?
Yeah, it's who you surround yourself, you know, who you're choosing to surround yourself and who you're choosing to associate with and include in your circle, and you know.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm gonna shout you guys out real quick.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? So we're on live right now with the podcast. It's called Not for the Week. Introducing the boys right here, GUNSMITH.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah. You know, we're just talking about the age right now, social media and whatnot. As I'm on it, see, man, this shit never ends.
But see, necessary though. Like you're engaging with your people. You got to do it.
You got to do it. You know, it's one of those things. You know, you got to take it with you. But yeah, man, it's literally probably a part-time job. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I think that's
how I feel about it for sure.
Is.
Yeah. Dude, that's so crazy. That's literally exactly how I feel about like Instagram. I'm like, fuck, I need to post to stay relevant, or people are gonna like, I'm not doing anything for anyone, you know.
Well, it's I don't know, but then it comes down to you have to post a lot, you have to be engaging, you have to do all these things, but then like it becomes very apparent like if you start just doing it, it starts becoming robotic and it starts becoming forced. You know, it has to be natural. You know.
Authentic.
Yeah, it has to be authentic.
And people can read that.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know about you, but like if you know, I'm on social media and you know, I can just tell, I don't know. I could just tell if that person is being genuine or authentically themselves, you know, just I don't know, man. You know, it's like what real recognize real. I can just tell if it's just fake, you know what I mean?
I mean, it becomes very apparent, you know, when somebody's just, you know, posting something and it's not from them necessarily. It's what they think is going to get a lot of likes or what they think is going to get a lot of interaction, and it becomes apparent when somebody's just throwing stuff out there.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's like you know, even likes and even comments and views, that shit don't even matter, because guess what? People are buying them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's crazy now. You can just buy. There's a guy I follow on social media, and he has, I think, almost 200,000 followers. Jeez. And I'm positive that they're all fake. They're all bought and paid for. You know, just
you know how you can tell a lot of times. Yeah, you can tell a lot of times if you know someone may have like 100,000 followers, right? And then they post a picture. And it's like, all right, yeah, cool. You got like maybe 3,000 likes, but there's no comments. Wait a minute, you're telling me
nobody cared enough to comment?
You have 100,000 followers. Wait a minute, and nobody commented. So,
like nobody cares.
Not even the fake bots are commenting. It's just
right. You should at least been smart and bought the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Like the whole package, yeah. Or like people who have like I know people who have like 50,000 followers and their pictures will get like quality pictures, like they'll get like not even 100 likes, like 100 at the most, and I'm like, come on, there's no way. Like even with 50,000 followers, like even with the algorithm being all messed up, with 50,000 followers, you should be getting a lot more than 100 likes. You know what I mean? Yeah. 100 likes, no comments, please.
Yeah, but then again, it's perception, right? Because you have people, especially young kids. You know, I have a decent early teen following, which is cool. You know, I don't know what to think about it. It's cool, you know. But when they see oh my God, you know, you got, you know, 30,000, 40,000 followers, just like he must be popping.
Yeah.
It's perception, you know. It's marketing, right?
Oh, it's 100%. I'd be interested. I don't know, that whole Kanye thing about how he wants to hide the following, like for people. You know, like I don't know if you heard about that, but he was putting out. He was reaching out to some social media heads, and basically his whole idea was that he wants to hide it so people can't see how many followers. You can see how many followers you have, but people can't see how many followers you have. And his whole reason behind it was more for like the younger generation and people finding value and becoming depressed by the fact that, you know, so-and-so has this many followers and I don't, so that means that person's better than me, kind of thing. And so that was his whole idea behind it. But it's interesting because it's an interesting concept, you know, because people do put a lot of worth in how many followers you have, you know.
Oh, for sure.
It's it's like you said. Now you go into these casting directors and they want to know how many followers you got.
It's crazy, man, and it sucks because if you don't have that many followers, regardless of your talent or what you bring to the room, it already kind of sets it in their mind. You know, it's like
this guy's doing something wrong because he doesn't have that many followers. Like,
yeah, you know, even if you kill the audition, you know, it's like, you know, but then again, you know, you never know. Acting is a whole different game, man. A lot of times, you know, you may not get it for the stupidest reason, bro.
I could see that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've had casting directors be like, hey, you know what, Zach? Like, we thought you were the most talented person in the room today, but you don't necessarily fit into this Caucasian family on the show, or maybe you're not Latin enough. I don't think your Spanish is that good. You know.
I thought my Spanish was great.
Yeah, you know, or something like that. You know, or it's just you just never know. You know, acting's a whole different game, man. It's crazy. It's retarded.
Yeah.
But what's your guys' goal with the what's your next thing as far as, you know, the whole gunsmith, the whole movement? Where you want to take it next? The podcast is definitely a great thing. I'm glad you're doing it.
Yeah, I think we're focusing a lot on the podcast right now because I think it goes back to that, you know, authenticity and people getting to know you, and that's the biggest thing with like branding yourself, and is people getting to know you, becoming and relating to you, and relating to the message that you're putting out there, and it's a longer form, you know, YouTube video. You know, people are getting to listen to you for an extended period of time, have a conversation with somebody, and, you know, if they like it, then they're going to go and check out all the other things you're doing. You know, they're going to check out the brand, they're going to check out the social media. You know, exactly. They're going to support what you're putting out there, and so I think that's the main goal right now is just working on that. You know.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I feel like I need to let as much people as possible know who I am as a person. Like, forget about the music or whatever you think I offer.
Right.
You know, like, I just want to be a real person that you can see is trying to chase something that I believe in. You know, that's really just the thing. You know, get to know me. You know, just like stuff like this, like the podcast is great. You know, and I feel like once we collectively can kind of talk about, you know, what's going on and be real and be funny and, you know, and just be ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's the biggest thing, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many people because I listen to Joe Rogan a lot, and I can't tell you the number of people that I've seen on Joe Rogan or listened to on Joe Rogan, and I became a fan of theirs. And so I immediately, you know, I'm going on their social media, I'm following them, I'm checking out the things that they're doing just because, you know, I liked what they were talking about. I liked how they came off as a person, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's huge.
I mean, yeah, that's the exact reason why I've always, you know, followed Joe Rogan and shit, but I didn't know how versatile the guy is, man. You know what I mean? Like,
I always thought he was the Fear Factor dude, and then he was the UFC dude.
He was. Do you remember when the guy tried to fight him on Fear Factor? And
that was hella funny.
Joe Rogan would have fucked him up.
Oh, he would have, you know, but you don't realize that guy didn't even know that Joe Rogan is a master at talking show and shit since he was young. You know, he's the wrong guy. He's the wrong, you know, but he's cool because he's so versatile. He does a podcast, comedian, but then he'll whoop your ass too. Like, he's the shit, you know. But
that's
I don't know, Jeremy, what's up with you, man?
Nothing, man. Right now I'm studying I don't know if you listen to the other episodes, but I'm studying to be a personal trainer. So that's something that means a lot to me just because, like, I've always just had a passion for helping other people. And since I'm passionate about fitness as well, like, why not combine the two since they already go hand in hand so well together? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's something I'm working on right now. So just studying and working, doing the podcast with Mooney. And just like Mooney was saying, like, just trying to build myself as, like, you know, my own personal brand and, like, get myself out there and get people to, like, stand behind me and get to know me and be like, oh, you know, Jay's fucking pretty cool. So that's about it for me, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing you can offer, honestly, regardless of what you do.
Yeah.
If you can offer authenticity, I mean, how can you really hate that?
No.
You know what I mean?
You may not agree with it, but you got to respect it at least.
That person is doing the best they can and giving you their true self. I mean, that's
you can't hate real. You can't.
No,
that's a caption right there. You can't hate real, bro.
You can't hate real. If you hate real, you're fake.
Yeah, right. There's a reason. If you're hating on somebody for being who they are, then that says more about you than it does them. You know.
Mm-hmm. So how's the fitness journey? What are you guys' goals, man? Are you doing any competitions coming up, Mooney?
Yeah. So in 2019, so next year I'm planning on doing. I want to do a powerlifting meet. I want to do a bodybuilding show. I want to do a marathon, a Spartan race, and a CrossFit and strongman event. I want to do one of everything, you know, just kind of be a jack of all trades, you know. Damn,
you guys hear that? You got the freaking the ultimate weapon right here.
Yeah. But, you know, but it's like you got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Like I've never run more than like 5 miles, but I plan on running. Yeah, I plan on running a fucking marathon at some point next year. So, but it's all, you know, personal growth, you know, finding ways to challenge yourself. Yeah,
that always scared me more than anything, you know. And I did track at Southern Oregon.
Yeah.
You know, not for long because I got hurt and some other bullshit happened. But that's the biggest thing. Like when I look at like long distance runners, like that looks so painful to me. Right?
You got to be a little off, I think, to run distance.
You got to be crazy.
Yeah.
Like some of these guys, man, if you run any more than 5 miles, you run 10 miles, let alone 15, 20 or whatever it is, like, man, like, but they also say that it's like one of the biggest highs you'll ever experience.
Oh, yeah. Our buddy Mossy, he's an ultra runner, and he ran Badwater, which is like 130 miles through Death Valley in the middle of summer.
Oh my God.
And so you think about that, like, yeah, that's physically taxing, but like that's a bad motherfucker mentally. Like,
no, mentally he's out of this world.
Yeah, right.
I feel like if you run like that, you have to put yourself in a space, right, to where you any type of distraction, any type of man, why you gotta call me a mom? Any type of distraction, right? Like you have to kind of just let it go. You have to find this inner. I don't know what it is because I've never done it.
Yeah.
But you got to find this like inner place, right? Mentally, where you just like, all right, so I'm gonna be in pain for the next whatever it is, but I have to learn how to be calm,
right,
and endure it. You know, you're gonna experience it very soon, but I know you got it. You know, it's just one of those things that I'm sure the first half of it has to be grueling, and then maybe the second half you kind of find your groove.
Yeah, you get your second wind or something, and I don't know. We were talking to him about it, and I was like, what do you think about like when you're running that long? Because he basically runs 130 miles in under 48 hours, I think it is. So like he's basically running for 30 something hours straight. And it's like, what do you think about it? He's just talking about how he thinks about how he's running. He just focuses on something like that. Like, so he focuses on how his steps are, how he's hitting the ground. He just focuses on that, and that kind of takes him away.
What does he focus on?
He focuses on how, like each individual step and how he's actually his form, and he focuses on little things to kind of take his mind away. Jeremy's got to take off.
Hey, bro, I got to go because I have to go to work.
But we'll keep going.
Money,
yeah, thank you, bro.
So how's the music thing going, dude? Like, I saw you dropped some new tracks recently.
Yeah, man, I'm dropping a video on Friday.
Right on.
Just keeping it pushing. I'm trying to really push myself, you know, speaking of limits and boundaries, you know, and pushing myself like past fears. You know, I'm working on the second album.
Okay.
You know, and at the same time trying to juggle acting, you know.
Right.
My ultimate goal, you know, is you know, I've been on shows, I got all that type of stuff, but I'm trying to like be on a show like regularly.
Yeah.
Kind of like the goal.
Be a lead or, you know,
yeah,
up there.
Be a cast member, yeah. And then at the same time dropping music, you know, be like, oh, you know, I'm on this show, but guess what? I also do music.
Yeah.
So that's the goal right now, you know, trying to stay focused, you know, trying to keep my body healthy, you know, less drinking, less smoking. Yeah. Which is hard sometimes because everybody does it.
It's a party lifestyle, right? Like that whole LA scene.
Yeah, I mean, what's the first thing people do when you go in the studio? You know, it's like they crack a bottle of Hennessy and they roll up the blunt and and whatever other drugs might be there, you know.
Yeah, so it's probably a little difficult for you to kind of stay away from that. Well,
yeah, it is, but at the same time, it's like, because I grew up an athlete, so I low key treat art like a sport, because it's like very physical to me.
Right.
I gotta be, it just stems from being an athlete. Once I feel like I'm physically healthy and feeling good, then the rest of my life can kind of proceed in that same way.
Yeah.
Especially as you get older, you know what I'm saying? Like, being hungover and shit, that's not fun.
No, dude. I went out this past weekend with Jeremy and a couple of our other buddies, and I was dead on Sunday. Like, it was rough as fuck, dude. I was hurting all day, and I remember I didn't even really drink that much, but I was feeling it. And so, no, we're getting older, man.
Yeah, getting older, and it also hurts more when you're actually taking care of your body.
Yeah.
Because then your body's like, what the fuck are you doing? What is this poison?
Yeah, right. It's trying extra hard to get rid of it all, and so you're just feeling extra shitty.
Exactly. It's like, nah, you're not. This is not you, man.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's important too, because like you got to think about like the goals though. Like, is that helping you, reach your goal, getting on a TV show, or is it helping you with can't be helping your voice, It can't be.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
Doing all that partying and stuff.
Yeah, and working out does, because it literally does. Like, it opens up your lungs.
Yeah.
It helps with your stamina. When you're on stage and you're on stage for so and so, or even on set, people don't realize most of the time when you're on set, you're waiting around. That's kind of like an actor's job, is most of the time you're waiting for other people to set up.
Yeah.
And then, but at the same time, you got to stay in it though, mentally.
Right?
You got to stay in it until it's like, oh shit. Let's do your scene. It's like, oh, okay, shit. After like 4 hours of waiting, that's very physical too.
Yeah, it's definitely that could be hard. Yeah, like getting yourself in that mindset and not letting yourself, just kind of wander. And I'm sure, like if you're waiting around for a couple hours, it's easy to get out of character or get out of touch with what you're doing. Yeah,
at least for me, everyone's different. I have to be completely sober. Because and sharp, but some people, look at Snoop and Wiz Khalifa. Some people operate off 100 blunts a day, and if they can do it, more power to them. But I don't work that way.
It's just become such a part of them that their body's adapted to that.
Oh, for sure, their bodies definitely adapt to it. It's different as opposed to us. If we were to smoke a fatty, we're probably done for a little bit.
I can probably say that. Yeah.
Do you smoke, Mooney?
No, I don't. I've been messing around with the CBD a little bit though for recovery.
Hey man, that shit is proven to really help with a lot of different cases, man. My little brother's autistic.
Okay.
And we give him CBD gummy bears and all that. It calms his nerves and from what I understand, it's even helping with like preventing the growth of like cancer cells and shit like that.
Really? Yeah. There's a lot of research out there that I haven't even read up on all of it, but that's interesting. So you notice a difference with him with the CBD in terms of his autism and managing that?
Oh, for sure. Because when you're autistic, they say it's like having a million ants underneath your skin constantly. Just like your nerves are going bananas. Imagine that, bro.
Yeah. No, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. I know. And so what it does is it suppresses it, it calms you down, it kind of eases you, and it's not bad, it amazes me. I was talking to my buddy about this, how, weed was illegal for the longest time and alcohol has been legal for the longest time,
right?
Because when you think about it, alcohol is actually one of the worst drugs there is.
Yeah.
And
it's
dangerous. It ruins lives. I haven't heard of anybody dying from smoking weed or being too high, or think about half the stupid shit people do when they're drinking, right? Whether they're drinking arguments, fights, like when you're stoned, you're not gonna want to do all that shit.
I remember back in college, like early, like sophomore, junior year. I was drinking with some buddies, and I thought it was a great idea. Like, we were in a hot tub. I was like, it's a great idea. I'm gonna go dive in this pool. Didn't even think about how deep the pool is. I was just like, let's go. Dove in, smashed my head on the bottom there. Like, I got a big ass scar right there in the middle of my forehead, right under my hair. But yeah, no, I can't even name all the dumb shit I've done drunk back in college and shit. Yeah.
Same shit, bro. I mean, I think of a lot of the stupid decisions I made have definitely involved drinking.
Oh,
definitely.
I think that applies to everybody. I can't.
Oh yeah.
But I think it goes back to, you know, too much of anything is gonna fuck you up. You know.
Oh,
I'm sure you get too high, you're not gonna want to do anything. Sometimes that's just as bad as, you know, getting super wasted and, you know, doing some dumb shit. But like,
yeah. Or even things that are considerably healthy, you know, like working out. There literally is such thing as working out too much.
Yeah,
you know
a little rhabdo.
Yeah, you know, for one, none of your muscles are healing because you keep ripping them, you know. For two, you know, it's definitely one of those things that becomes addicting because of, you know, the endorphins and stuff like that. You know? Being into fitness and working out can be really addicting, but some days you literally have to tell yourself, no, you need to rest.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. Yeah, I've definitely seen that. You know, years of doing the training, I've seen a couple people that have been, you know, recovering addicts, and they become addicted to working out. It becomes, you know, that satisfies what they used to get from drugs or whatever, you know. And like you were saying, it's a good thing. Oh, in the long run, it's a good thing. But, you know, doing too much of that, just as bad, you know. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, you know,
it's all about
moderation. Yes, you know.
Yeah, moderation and knowing your limits.
Mm-hmm. So, do you have any plans of when's the Fit Expo?
I think it's end of January, last weekend of January. I think we're coming down there.
Are you coming for sure?
Yeah, for sure coming down. Unless something somehow comes up, but right now I don't have anything coming up, so we're for sure coming down for that.
Oh yeah, well, you know, you gotta hit me.
Yeah, we'll hit you up and get a session in at Venice, and then, you know, hit the town or something.
Let's get it, yeah, man, for real. You know, hit Venice, and then Venice has some cool spots to chill too at night, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, pretty girls everywhere. Well, I mean, I know you got a girlfriend. I know you got respect. You know, I'll be the one doing the holler.
You'll holler at all the pretty. I'll bring them in, and then you can close.
Yeah. Hey, do you remember in college when I'd have you be like the bouncer at some of the parties and shit? You remember that? Or no?
Yeah.
I was like, Mooney, don't let this person be.
Bro, I was actually just showing Jeremy one of your old songs.
Shit! Which one?
The Wild and Buck.
Oh shit!
And I was telling him, I was like, yeah, he filmed the music video at one of the Halloween parties.
Yeah, at that point, yeah, I wasn't thinking at all serious about nothing. I was just like, it was just fun, you know. You're in college. You're like, I had Matt there to film. He's my bro, you know. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's have a party. Let's film it. I was a little worried that people didn't show up, but it ended up being kind of cool.
No, it turned out awesome. I was looking for it on YouTube the other day, but I didn't find it.
Oh, yeah. You know, I had to take that down a while. I should have left it a while ago, but I don't know. When I was trying to really get back into it, I just didn't want some of my old kind of honestly amateur shit up. You know?
No, I it totally makes sense from a branding aspect, you know. Plus, it was a different your sounds kind of changed over the years, you know.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, I was just discovering everything.
Right.
I was just discovering my voice. What could I do? And not just that, the quality of the song is terrible because I engineered it myself, and I just started figuring out how to record. And, you know, it's just, again, it's probably being an insecure artist, but I just wanted to take it down just for those reasons. And I was like, it's just the quality. But when I look back at it now, I'm like, man, people might want to see that shit, though, because that's like where I began. Like, you got to see that I actually been doing this for a long time, and I used to suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
the progression, just watching the progression over the years, it's fucking awesome, dude. It's awesome to see how you've, you know, adapted and changed and, you know, kind of become this great artist, you know, like you've developed your own identity, and it's awesome to see that. But yeah, from a progression standpoint, that would have been cool to see, like, that like amateur looking video compared to like stuff you're putting up nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I still got it, so maybe a little bit down the line, I'll just post it just to be like, just in case you're wondering if you suck when you first start. Wow, but it's fun.
A little throwback Thursday.
Yeah, but it's fun. People would trip out because most people don't know me with the long hair.
Oh man.
And I think I had the crow makeup.
Yeah. Dude, that song bangs, man. You say you suck, but I fuck with it.
Yeah, I mean, it was lit. It was lit in college, because nobody really was doing it. That's why either.
Yeah.
No. But man, you got to start somewhere. You know what I mean? Like just like that, your progression pick killed me. The you know what I'm talking about? The one on Instagram. Yeah. Holy shit, man.
You got to start somewhere, right?
Time and hard work, man. And then you were talking about how, in college when you were drinking a lot, you were a little heavier.
Yeah.
And then it does wonders, huh? When you stop drinking and you actually focus and your diet is better, it does wonders.
Yeah, it's amazing when you actually start taking care of your body, what it can do for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's your next steps, man?
Next steps?
Besides all that shit that you named, you're gonna Spartan race and shit.
I don't know. I got a list. I'm just working on improving. Like I'm doing some certifications and stuff. Like working on trying to improve my knowledge base. That's really what it is. Working on different things. I'm working on like learning Photoshop and always working on editing skills. And it's just it's like you were saying, like it's a part-time job. But since it's my business, it's basically a full-time job. I got to work on, but I can't afford to pay people to do all these things. So I got to, learn how to do some of it by myself. So you just got to continually add things to the toolbox, things that you're good at, things that you can improve on. Yeah. It's just part of the process.
What do you think about CrossFit and that whole movement? Are you into it?
Oh yeah, I like CrossFit. It's like anything though. Like, there's good and bad aspects of it. Like there's good CrossFit gyms, there's bad CrossFit gyms. Just like there's good personal trainers at 24-hour fitness, and then there's some shitty personal trainers at 20. I think it gets such a bad rap though because it just became so big out of nowhere. It became huge. It's like Twitter. Like there's a good group of it, but then there's people outside that don't know anything about it that are just observing it.
Right, it's a club.
Yeah, but I think part of the negativity around it comes from people not doing it right or people not looking at it kind of for what it is. Like people look at the CrossFit Games and some of the stuff they do is dumb. Like some of the stuff that some of the workouts that they're doing is fucking insane, stupid shit. But people don't realize that that's not really what CrossFit is. Like that's just competition. Like they're trying to figure out who's the craziest and strongest and most athletic person out there. But like that, you go to an average CrossFit gym, you're not going to do some of those workouts. I mean, at a good gym.
Yeah, there's a lot of injuries in CrossFit because of how kind of intense a lot of the stuff is, right?
Well, yeah, but that goes back to like good coaches and bad coaches. If you're going into it, like if you go into a CrossFit gym tomorrow, and you just went in and they have a shitty coach there, somebody who's like, hey, I'm gonna have you do max deadlift, and I'm gonna have you do as many cleans as possible. And you're like, I don't even know how to clean, but it's like, all right, but we're doing that. So, but if you went into a good gym, they'll be like, hey, we're going to teach you technique on how to do this correctly, and so you don't hurt yourself, and then we'll make you work hard, but we're going to make sure you don't do anything stupid, But right. It's just it kind of ends up being more of like a broad generalization. I think most people assume that CrossFit gets a lot of injuries, and I'm sure there's a lot of injuries associated with it, but there's a lot of injuries associated with powerlifting or Olympic weightlifting or bodybuilding. Like bodybuilding's super unhealthy for the body for the most part. Like all those people doing shows and stuff, it's super unhealthy for you.
Yeah, bodybuilding's crazy. They got the Ronnie. Have you seen the Ronnie Coleman documentary?
Yeah, I started watching it on Netflix. Pretty crazy shit, dude.
Yeah, talk massive. About like passion and I guess you could say addicting, not in a bad way. I mean, it can be, but like, you know, he's at the age where, you know, it's all he knows, you know what I'm saying? So he can't stop no matter what.
Yeah. Even if it's doing him harm to his hips. Like I remember they were showing his doctor, and his doctor was like, yeah, he needs to stop, you know, doing this, or he needs to stop doing that, but he's not going to.
No, you know, but at the same time, that's what makes him the GOAT.
Yeah.
You know?
You got to respect that. You can't hate on him for that. Like, he's doing what he loves, and he does what he's passionate about. And at the end of the day, that's all that fucking matters. Like, if you're doing something you love and you care about, who cares what people fucking think?
No, that's it, man. You got to chase the happiness.
Yeah.
You got to chase the happiness.
And you got to find that happiness yourself. Like, you can't be reliant on other people to tell you what's going to make you happy, and kind of dictating how you're going to live your life to be happy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite quotes is, you know, find what makes you happy and do it as much as possible as you can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do it as much as possible.
Yeah.
You know, and it's true, you know, because there's a lot of, we have a lot of distractions, you know, in life, whether it be, you know, personal, you know, maybe even financial or whatnot, or relationships, you know, but if you can kind of find that center of your passion and happiness, and if you can, and throughout all the bullshit that goes on and negative shit that goes, if you can kind of revert and maybe convert that energy back into your passion every time,
Yeah.
you know, maybe that's when, you know, you could develop a fulfilled life, I guess, you know?
Yeah. And I think a lot of people get hung up. Yeah, money is great and money is important, but like, if you're doing something just to make money, it's not going to fulfill you. And a lot of the times, you know, when you find that passion, and when you do it, and you're not so focused on, I need to make $1, I need to sell this. If you're just focused on doing what you're passionate about and growing that and working on that, it attracts other people. And then eventually you can start monetizing that. You can start making money, and opportunities start coming in, because people are like, oh dude, he's so passionate about that. I want to be associated with him. So I want to work with him, or I want to show somebody that I know that could work with him. And all these opportunities, they start coming. Like, once you start doing something you care about and you're passionate about, it opens all these doors.
Yeah. See, this is where you're going to get me start talking about the universe and shit. You know what I mean? Because you know, it's almost like the law of attraction. It is the law of attraction. You know, it's if you're doing something that you love, it might take time, but the money will follow.
Oh yeah.
The money, because the money's tangible. It's always, you know, but passion is not. You know what I mean? It's the money is gonna follow no matter what. You know, obviously you got to figure out some sort of business strategy to make that happen and monetize. You know, but that's definitely the starting point, right? That's the starting point.
Oh yeah, 100%. And being confident in yourself to struggle a little bit, you know, being all right, because you're not gonna find that thing that you're passionate about and immediately start making, you know, money to survive or to go on all these trips. You gotta be comfortable with scraping by for a little bit, and then eventually it will come. But a lot of people, I think, give up on something before it gets to that point. You know, they keep working, and like, you know, a couple years in, they're like, shit, I'm not making any money. Like, I'm wasting my time. And then they end up giving up on it. But like, maybe if they stuck with it like another couple months, like that would have been the turning point. Right.
That's crazy. It's like, you never know how close you are to something. You know, it's like some people might have gave up like literally, maybe even days.
Oh yeah.
Something might have popped off. You just don't know.
You never know.
I mean, you might have been right across from that finish line, like an inch.
Yeah.
And you turn back. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And the thought of that, like the what if, like if I give up on this and I could make it actually.
Right.
That what if, that's killer, dude. Like,
especially when you start seeing some sort of results, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for you, like you're at the point like you know this shit is working now.
Yeah.
You know, so just don't stop. You know what I mean? Especially when you already know that you got something going.
Yeah. It may not be where you want it, but you have the momentum. You're starting to get momentum. Yeah.
Exactly. And also, I mean, what the fuck is chasing money anyway? What does that even mean? You know what I mean? You're chasing $1. You're chasing you know what I mean? That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It's
but
the money is the result of doing what you love. You know, that's the bonus.
Yeah, and like you said, I call it being scared. Some people are being scared of the dark, right? They're scared of being in the dark, but you got to go through that cave first, right? To get to the light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Every peak has its valley,
Hey, every peak has its valley. Straight up.
Oh shit. Dude, this was fucking awesome, dude. I'm glad we did this.
Hell yeah, man. This is dope.
I think a lot of people will like this.
Yeah, it's dope. This is stuff that is it's a must. You know what I'm saying? Like being around and to talk to anybody who else is like, chasing dreams, and no matter what craft it is, it's important that we talk about it. It's important that we realize that we actually go through the same shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's refreshing to know that somebody else is going through the same shit. Like knowing that you're not alone, and learning like things that have worked for you and things, with your mindset and how you're viewing things, and it helps you eventually kind of in your own head put together certain ways of doing things. And
yeah,
it's good for both of us, but then I think it'll be good for some people listening, hopefully.
Yeah, especially for people who might have the same passion as you and me.
Yeah.
And just haven't done it yet.
Yeah. No, it's major, dude. I think this was good. I'm glad we did this though. I'm glad to see your success too, man. It's inspirational, dude.
Yeah, you know what it is, man. Not there yet, but trying to get there, learning.
Never there. You're never there.
That's true. You're never really there, right? You're never really. What there is, like in the speaking of the Jamie Foxx and the Joe Rogan thing, Joe Rogan was asking Jamie Foxx, he's like, how do you maintain this sense of hunger still, and you and in most people's eyes, you quote unquote have made it,
right?
But then he kind of reestablishes that there's not really there's no destination. There never is.
Yeah, there's no finish line. Like
it's the journey.
Finish line
right?
is death, right?
Shit, if you hit a finish line, you're in trouble. I think.
Right. No, but like there's no end to it,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why look at like Amazon? Look at like Jeff Bezos. Like that dude's worth like what, fucking $400 billion or some stupid number like that. Like he's done, right? He has more money than he could ever spend.
Yeah.
But he still goes to work and he still puts in work every day.
Yeah, look at Elon Musk, man. I feel like once you get that, now you can play.
Yeah.
Now you can really do what you want.
Now you can really make an impact.
Yeah. Now I think it's when it go. I feel like I won't even be able to be as free or be as playful yet, until I guess you quote unquote make it to where you're on. I feel like that's when it really starts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's when it's like, all right, you're telling me I can do exactly whatever I want,
Right.
That's when it's going to be like, all right, now there's really no end,
No, I agree with that 100%, dude. That's real shit. Well, shit, man. You wanna plug anything? Like you're dropping that music video on Friday.
Yeah,
social
man.
medias and stuff.
On Friday, the Instagram handle is TGD underscore the Great Dayne. That's DAYNE. Yeah, man. Check it out. Just progressing.
Right on.
Music and arts, and fulfillment, right?
Yeah. Personal growth, man.
Yeah, personal growth, man. Right. Thanks for having me on the show, Mooney. This was dope as fuck.
Yeah,
You're
man.
legit. This is my old time buddy, by the way. If people don't know, we went to college together.
Back in the day, Southern Oregon.
Yeah, man. So, motivating each other, watching each other fucking excel, man. That's what it's about.
Right. Surround yourself with greatness. I appreciate it, man. Keep doing big things.
Yeah, man. Likewise. All right, brother.
We'll talk soon. All right, y'all. So that was the Great Dayne, Big Zach, doing big things. So Jeremy had to take off because he had to go to work to make that money. But I think that was a great episode. I think really great insight from a guy who's grinding, who's working hard, and it's a different field, but it's all kind of the same. It's all the same outlook. You got to be constantly working on trying to improve yourself, constantly working on trying to be the best version of yourself possible, and that's ultimately how you're going to achieve that success or that vision that you want. I think it's another example of somebody who's kind of jumping out of their comfort zone to do things that maybe aren't as people aren't necessarily supportive of. He's trying to make it big in Hollywood and be an entertainer and slang some music, and it's a rough field, but he's doing it anyway. And I think it's inspirational, and hopefully this helped some people. Hopefully it helped you guys listening. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you made it this far, really appreciate you guys. Do me a favor though, if you're listening right now, leave a 5-star review or hit the like button on this podcast, and it helps the podcast grow. Anyway, check out gunsmithbrand.com. All your fitness needs. We got some cool stuff on the site. We had a big Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale, so sizes and quantities are limited, but we still have some cool stuff up there. Still got some hats. Still got some hoodies, I think. We got some stuff. So check it out, gunsmithbrand.com. Like I said, appreciate each and every one of you guys for listening, tuning in this far. Make sure you guys follow Jeremy at JeremyNewGC, and then follow me at James Mooney GC if you're not already. Anyway, appreciate each and every one of you guys. We'll talk to you guys next time. Stay savage, my friends.